Hey, it's me, Uncle Ricky. Look, we're gonna talk about freedom, uh, protection of your rights. Now, I guess maybe black people on the whole, and Native Americans, and perhaps Asians to some extent, historically, understand what it's like to be denied your civil rights, because all three groups have contributed to the success and the importance of this country. But all three groups have been marginalized from day one. You know, black people seem to be gaining ground at one time. Native Americans have always been on the shitty end of the stick. And Asians, as they acquired monetary wealth, which is respected and valued by the, I guess, conservative group, or the, I don't know, the people that want to say that America is all about them, have gained a toehold, or maybe gained a reluctant acceptance into that world. But this thing about freedoms, everybody, when Trump came down the ladder in 2016, was crying about, yeah, he's going to protect our freedoms. And if you notice, it was basically one group of individuals, or one type of individuals, that was saying this, while other members of American society that didn't happen to be the same skin tone as Trump was saying, yo, this dude is out here to clown everybody and take your freedoms away. But this whole MAGA movement that I guess Trump formalized, because it was always there, racism and bigotry and misdirected Christian superiority, or the need for an authoritarian type government under a Christo-nationalist banner. That has been brewing in this nation for a long time. And Trump just gave it a face and gave it a name when he created his MAGA party, his MAGA movement. But the thing is, they want you to believe that they are here to protect freedoms, while they make it obvious that these freedoms only apply to people that look like them and think like them. But the part that they don't want you to see is that every move they make, it's when you do it on the state and national level, it affects everybody in that state. It affects everybody in the country, irregardless of whether you fly their banner or whether you hate the ground that they walk on. Point in case, we've become so hyper-partisan. Everything now is red state, blue state. Well, there's 11 so-called red states. In other words, they either have Republican state assemblies with Republican governors, or Republican governors that are totally out of control, or whatever. But and most of the time it doesn't really have anything to do with the will of the people. Point in case, Kansas, when they voted on a referendum on abortion, the Kansas State Assembly, heavy Republican, heavily MAGA, wanted a complete ban on abortion. When the people got to vote on it, because Kansas had to put it in a referendum, they proved that the state assembly was out of touch with the people. That goes on to a lot of things: abortion, gun control, education. Somehow this idea, this far-right conservative idea of how things should be, their representatives have infiltrated our government at all levels. And it's sad to say, these are elected positions, and in order to win these elections, somebody had to vote for him, and we the people put him there. Not not only just because you voted for him directly, but because if you didn't vote for him, you didn't do enough to fight against them getting elected. Sometimes you can't win because the numbers are numbers, and people are people, and areas are areas, and whatever mentality, whatever social theme runs to that area, that's what runs to that area. But when you know you're on the short end of the stick, you cannot ever stop fighting to get change, because as long as you don't create change, you're gonna get shafted by that stick every time. But moving right along, this thing with the letters from the attorneys generals from these 11 states. Now these are supposed to be the top lawyers. I'm not gonna say the top legal minds, because we all know that intelligence has nothing to do with political or appointed government office anymore. It depends. Basically, it all boils down to who you know. But anyway, these geniuses, these legal-minded geniuses, because they live in abortion-banned states, far-right, red-wing MAGA states, they say that the state has the right to obtain the medical records of any woman that is a resident of that state to prove or disprove that she obtained abortion services. Now, this violates the right to privacy. And even if you look at it on the state level, just within the state, it should be totally rejected. But these people are not talking about just in the state. They're saying that if a female goes out of the state to obtain an abortion or reproductive care, reproductive medical services, because a lot of states and certain members of the Supreme Court, i.e. Clarence Thomas, want to get into the bedroom as far as reproduction. They want to outlaw contraception. We're gonna make it so you can't stop getting pregnant, and then once you get pregnant, you gotta have that baby, even though every time you turn around, we're not gonna do a damn thing to help you raise that baby. And they're pushing this even to the point where Alabama Senator Tommy Tuberville is holding up hundreds of military promotions to get the military to stop funding abortion care for service members and dependents when they have to go out of state to get an abortion or reproductive care because it's banned in the state that they're in. The military doesn't do abortions, but they realize the need, and also they understand that economically it's better for them, because they tell you when you go into any branch of the military and you get married and you start having a family, and raising that family becomes an issue, the cost of raising that family becomes an issue. They basically, in a lot of cases, even though it has changed a little bit, they turn a deaf ear. They tell you, we didn't issue you a wife in boot camp. I know that sounds sexist, but you got to understand the history of the military. I guess it could go the other way. Nobody, we didn't tell you, young lady, when you joined, we didn't tell you to get married and have kids. The burden of this thing goes beyond abortion. The robbing of individual rights goes beyond abortion. All of this gerrymandering takes away the rights of minorities to vote, just like anybody else, and it increases the power of the white majority. In other words, in a lot of cases, it takes away the hope of black people of making change permanent outside of maybe their own little area. Case in point, Mississippi, Tate Reeves, that diabolical clan master, allegedly. I'm sorry, no, I shouldn't say that. But anyway, Tate Reeves is a bastard. But he just signed a bill that turned Jackson, Mississippi into an apartheid zone. White people do not have to answer to the local law, the local court systems, because it is because of the makeup, the demographics of Jackson and Hinds County, which is majority black, one of the most densely populated black areas in the country, that happens to be the capital of Mississippi, one of the most racist states, openly racist, obviously racist states in the country. They don't want to have to deal with black people. They don't want to be judged by black people. They don't want to be handled by black people. So what do? They make their own little state capital zone, which is predominantly and selectively white run, white law enforcement, white judges, specially appointed by the white Mississippi Attorney General. It's obvious, it's blatant, and up until this point, they're getting away with it. And other states are going to try it. Other states that feel like Mississippi does are going to imitate it. Down in Florida, Ron DeSantis has created one police force, the election integrity police force, just under the guise of maintaining election integrity in Florida. And so far, basically, the majority of the people that they arrested for election violations are black. You got people like Youngkin in Virginia that probably successfully has rewritten the requirements of the way Virginia history is taught, which either eliminates or decreases the role of black people or rewrites the effects of slavery on black Virginians. It's amazing that in this United States, where individual rights are so precious, that the people that have been elected to represent the states and the nation are busy every day trying to take away those rights. And unfortunately, because it appears to some that they're only doing it to the people that they don't like anyway, they stand behind it, but they don't realize that once it becomes law, it affects them too. So, it's like they say, karma is a bitch. It's gonna come back to hurt everybody, and when it hurts everybody, it hurts the nation. People have always said, what you do to one, whether you know it, you do it to all. That's it. Once again, I've run my mouth, and I'm pretty sure a lot of y'all enjoyed it. Some of y'all might have learned something. Most of y'all probably want me to shut up and go away. But let me tell you, I'm here to stay until God takes me away. So with that thought, peace out and God bless from Uncle Ricky at Uncle Ricky's house. Hey, look, it's Uncle Ricky. I need your help. For me to keep doing what I'm doing, I need you to do something. And I don't want you to send me money. I just want you, if you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel if you like what I do. If you have subscribed, don't forget to show some appreciation and hit that like and share button. And if you really feel froggy, drop a couple of comments. I need that to keep going on YouTube, because it's all about the numbers. Thank you, peace out, and God bless.